Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. I've got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, break 3 to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. Finally, the video is up. It's the weekend, baby. And I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. Listen, sorry about the issues earlier. Oh my goodness, it was crazy. Had to do some quick. Steve-O had to help me, got all this stuff together. But we're good, baby. We're good. We're back. We are back, baby. Let's see who we got here. Yeah, my son's in the house. He's like, yo, SuperBack and Sports Owners on a Mickey Ficky, TGIF. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Listen, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, then I guess you found us on Facebook. If you're not following us on Facebook, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. But also follow Shawn and Maya in the morning. Make sure you go to that Facebook page, like that page as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, that's dope. That's what I need you to do. All right. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, come on, baby. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. But also click the little bell. That's the little notification button that's there. That'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching us on our mobile app, I like that kind of party, baby. Listen, please don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. What's your problem, man? What's your problem? Listen, we have a mobile app, so wherever you get your apps from, go there. Whether it's iTunes or Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Woolworths, Weebles, Ventures. Doesn't matter. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, and not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew of articles thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching this on a Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel to your television. Put it there next to Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV, Prime, Max, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Stars. Put us next to the big boys around the big screen. Hell, we're on the big screen right, Mickey Ficky now. You can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. If you want to follow me, just me personally online, I made it nice and easy for you folks. Just follow me at the Shawn Sierra, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Listen, the show got cut short due to the technical difficulties we were having. I apologize. So we're going to jump right into it. Let me see who's jumping into the chat. My people's back, baby. That's what I'm talking about. They're back. Bashan Wall's in the house. Plank is back, baby. Thank you, Plank. I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Checking in the morning from work. I like it. Cornelia Squall's in the house. He says, you're back. Yes, I am, baby. I am back, baby. Levette Lee's in the house. He said, what's up, Shawn? Levette, good morning, man. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And listen, more of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. All right, that, my peoples, I can promise you. Listen, we got a lot to talk, and it all has to stem. Majority of it has to stem from yesterday. All right, it has to stem from yesterday, and that was a very, very frustrating situation. So let's jump right into the top of the morning topics. All right, let's do that, and we will proceed from there.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
The first top of the morning topic, baby, you know where we're going with this. You know, and it's frustrating. It is frustrating. The Bears. The Bears lose to the Seattle Seahawks 6-3. Are you kidding me? 6-3. Unbelievable. The lowest scoring game in the NFL this season. Caleb Williams, 16 for 28, 122 yards and an interception, breaking his streak of consecutive passes without a pick. He finished with a 53.0 quarterback rating. DeAndre Swift, 12 carries, 53 yards. DJ Moore, 6 receptions for 54 yards. It was a cluster mess, and it's frustrating going through this same stuff all over again. It really, really is. And I don't know what to say. I don't know. All I got to say is thank God for the next top of the morning topic. As the Bears travel to Green Bay, a January 4th or 5th for the season finale. That is still up in the air. Let me tell you something. Let me take this down. I hope they put us at like Friday at 4 a.m. in the morning. That's where they should put us. Friday, 4 a.m. in the morning. No one wants to see this crap. No one wants to see this crap. You know how pissed Netflix Prime Video was yesterday? You know, Amazon, you know how pissed they were? Man, with that type of showing, they need to, I'm telling you, Friday, 4 o'clock in the morning. Just that's when the time of the game is. That's when you air us. You know what they should put it? They should put it on after the Star Spangled Banner. All of you who are old enough to remember when the Star Spangled Banner played, I mean, that channel was off. It was over. It was off till the morning. That's when they should schedule our last game. But the last game is going to be next weekend, not this weekend. Next weekend, the 4th or the 5th, in Green Bay. Whatever they decide, put it on a Saturday. But see, you got to bury it Sunday at 12, because Saturdays are the games like you want to see those. You really want to see Saturday's games. But who wants to see the Bears? So they'll just bury it Sunday at 12 o'clock. The only two markets in the country that are going to see it are Chicago and Green Bay. That's it. Everybody else gets another game because of the incompetence of this organization. Well, we'll keep it moving. The next top of the morning topic, the Bulls, baby. The Bulls, they fall to the Atlanta Hawks 141-133 down in the A. Down in the A, baby. Zach LaVine led the way with 37 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Javon Carter, 26 points. Kobe White, 23 points, 9 assists. Vooch, 19 points, 8 rebounds. No rest for the weary tomorrow. Next top of the morning topic, the Bulls host the Milwaukee Bucks at the United Center. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network, or you can listen to that game on their flagship station, 670 AM. And last up, I want to talk about the Blackhawks travel to Buffalo tonight to face the Buffalo Sabres. Puck drop is at 6 p.m. Central Time. You can catch that game on ESPN2, or you can listen to it on their flagship station, 720 AM. You know, Cornelius says, well, the rest of the team may have quit, but I know Caleb didn't. No, I agree. I don't know what people can expect with 3/5 of the O-line are backups to the backups. That's funny. You know, it was a whole bunch of just cluster mess again. If you check my video out on Facebook, my recap, defense played a good game. Again, offense to be found. Look, they need to be found. You know, my question, another thing, one of the things that I was really pissed about, I'm sitting in the press box yesterday. I'm watching this game, and I see an inordinate amount of freaking screens. Again. Oh, my notebook's over there. So what I do is I chart the plays. Okay, I chart the plays. And I write what personnel. I write first down. I don't write the distance. I don't care. If it's a crazy like 3rd and 18 or something, yeah, then I'll write it just to make sure, because that might be a big play. But I write 1D for first down, 2D, 3D, 4D, obviously for the down. Then I'll write the personnel, 11 personnel, 12 personnel, 13 personnel. All right, for those of you who are unaware of what the numbers mean, okay, many of you know, but some people may not. So if it's 11 personnel, it's 3 wide receivers. It's 1 running back and 1 tight end. So it starts off in the 11. The first number 1 stands for the amount of running backs. The second number stands for the amount of tight ends. If it's 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end, that means there's 3 receivers. Okay? So when you hear 11 personnel, it's 1 running back, 1 tight end. 11 personnel is 3 wide receivers. If you go 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends. If you go 21 personnel, back when we had Corey Blasingame, okay, it's 2 running backs, 1 tight end. Or 22 personnel, 2 running backs, 2 tight ends. Just think of the letter R comes before the letter T in the alphabet. So when you hear the formation, 11 personnel, 12 personnel, 21, running backs, tight ends first. And that tells you how many, and obviously through deductive reasoning, the remainder of the 5 eligible receivers is our wide receivers. So in 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, there will be 2 wide receivers. Okay. They win a lot in 11 personnel. You know, and not having a fullback bugged me. Not having a fullback bugs me. I guess the biggest issue I have, and I get it, Caleb was sacked 7 times, will probably end up being sacked 70 times this year. Next game, the final game of the year at Green Bay, he'll probably get sacked 5 or 6 more times. But there are plenty of times where there was a lot of time for him to throw. My question is, why? Why? Why didn't they push the ball downfield at all? At all. Just about all the passes that were, and it's over there, and I don't want to already running late on the show today. I think the longest play was 24 yards, and that was a screen. We're not attacking downfield. Why? Why? It made no sense to me. You got Keenan, you got Rome, you got DJ. Oh, and by the way, Cole Kmet didn't even get targeted yesterday. Didn't even get targeted yesterday. I just don't. He didn't even get targeted yesterday. You talk about frustrating. Shawn says the reason is bad O-line. That's why. Yeah, but I can tell you what. You could take, Shawn, you go a shotgun. You could take a 3-step drop, a 5-step drop from the shotgun, and just throw it downfield. Even if you overthrow it, even if you specifically say, I'm not trying to complete a pass, let me just shoot the ball downfield just to let the defense know we can go that, we can stretch the field, just to let them know. They didn't do it once. There are plenty of times throughout the game where he had 4 or 5 seconds to throw. Four or 5 seconds to throw. So it's frustrating. And then Caleb has a nice touchdown pass, called back by a penalty. Jake Curran, come on, man. You get in the game and you have 2 penalties. 2 horrible plays. One takes a tutty off the board. One takes the touchdown off the board, and the other, what did he do? On a penalty on the 4th and short. Penalty on the 4th and short. Come on, man. Really? Jay Curran had a rough day at the office. But my thing is this. Look. You guys are professionals. You're a professional. You may not be a starter, but you're a professional. And the way, listen, you know how many people got their start by filling in for somebody? You know how many people? Have you ever heard of Wally Pipp? For those of you who don't know who Wally Pipp is the guy who was in front of Lou Gehrig. Wally Pipp is the guy who played in front of Lou Gehrig. Wally Pipp was out one day. Lou Gehrig stepped in, started his Iron Man streak. Never heard from Wally Pipp again. Cornelius, I agree. Okay, so now this goes deeper. This goes right to Poles. But I agree, he's a backup to a backup. But you have to understand, you might not get an opportunity again. You might not get an opportunity again. You know, my thing is, when you get that opportunity, take it. Take it. Because it might not come again. You might be relegated to a backup. And you might have those skills to be a starter. You might. But man. And Shawn, you said 73. You talk about Curran. He's not an NFL lineman. Well, then guess you know what? Then it goes directly to Ryan Poles for telling us, oh, this is the deepest position. This is the deepest I've ever seen it. Blah, 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 blah. His refusal to address the offensive line is going to be the end of him as the Bears general manager. All right, beautiful touchdown. They're driving. Beautiful touchdown. Rolling left, throwing right. Hits Roma Dunze in the back of the end zone. Wide open. But even before the ball was thrown, the penalty flag was out. We're like, oh, man. We knew it was holding. He was in the backfield. We knew it was holding. My man Herb Howard jumping in. What's up, Herb? Said the O-line play is disgusting, and also the QB has to be better. Maybe these sacks are him too. Yeah, and he said it. He said so in the post-game presser. I'll stand right next to Herb. And he said it in the post-game presser. He's got to do better. And he does. And he does. One of my former players who's now a beat writer for the Bears, Joe Lewis, from 79th and Hallis, the Barber Chair Network, asked a question to Coach Brown. He said, do you have conversations with Caleb about throwing the ball away? Just chuck that sucker in the first row. Just do it. And he says, yeah, we do. But I'm telling you, from Caleb's own mouth, he admitted yesterday, and yeah, he's got to play better. He has to. Some of the sacks, many of the sacks are on him. When you have 7 seconds to throw the ball and get sacked, that's not on the receivers. Yes, they can be covered. Yes, they can be bracketed. Yes, no one can be open. I get it. You know what you do? You throw the ball out of bounds. You throw it downfield, out of bounds. Simple. It's that simple. See, a lot of times people make this game a lot more difficult than it needs to be. And that's what Caleb is doing. And part of it has to do with the frustration. Okay, and part of it has to do with coaching. Because listen, I'm going to tell you this. Thomas Brown needs to say, hey, look. Now, I mean, but then again, does Caleb listen? Because Thomas Brown said they have those conversations. So if Thomas Brown, I don't know why he'd lie to us. If they have those conversations, why is it Caleb throwing the ball out of bounds? Thomas Brown told Caleb, hey, when I need you to be Superman, I'll tell you to go be Superman. Caleb has no problem doing that. But if he tells you to throw the ball out of bounds when you have 5 or 6 or 7 seconds, or run because there's tons of green grass in front of you, and you don't do that, you don't throw the ball out of bounds, that's not Caleb. He has to be better. And you know your offensive line is jacked up. You know you're playing backup to backups. So that clock has got to be going a little quicker. Herb's right. This is just a quick reminder in his headset. As you're calling the play, ZY jet flag 34-8 spin out on 3. Hey, remember, we can't take a sack here. All right, get rid of that ball. You got till 15 seconds on the play clock to communicate to your quarterback. It's a quick reminder. Hey, listen, throw that sucker out of bounds if you don't see nothing. Or run. It's frustrating. And then when you have the only time we had 2 touchdowns called back, it was a beautiful pass. And listen, I know a lot of people understand and know that I was a big fan of Justin. Okay, but I'm not going to shit on Caleb because I'm a fan of Justin. And the throw that Caleb had was a nice throw. The touchdown pass to Roma Dunze. They got called back because of the holding, because of Jay Curran. So nice throw. Rolling left, throws right, hits him. And people are marveling at that like that's the only person they've ever seen it. Only time I've ever seen them, I'm like, no. Like, stop the hyperbole. Stop the hyperbole. It's frustrating to hear some people to get their agenda across. And that's the problem. Is that the media, some of us, well, not people on my side, but they promised us so much. They promised us that all you needed was a quarterback. They promised us all these things. That divided the fan base. They're the name calling. That you don't know football. You don't know this. I'd love to see someone tell me I don't know football. I'll slap you in your face. But the quarterback, and part of it has to do with him just getting, I don't know who was it that asked, it might have been Joe, asked if those hits were cumulative. If, like, you keep getting hit, like shit, you start doing crazy stuff. And yeah. So it's frustrating because we have the talent. The talent that we have on this team is nowhere near a 4-win team. Nowhere near it. And that's what bothers me. All right, if we had a crap team, I could deal with the crap team. I'd be frustrated, but I'd say we got a crap team, like in 22. When they tore it down for Justin, we knew it was a crap team. We knew it. The only reason we were in most of those games, which were mostly one-score games, most of those games were only one score, was because of Justin. So I get it. But when we have talent, and that talent is not being maximized, that is the frustrating part. That is the frustrating part. Where was it? Where was the tight end? Why isn't the quarterback looking for the tight end? You've heard, we've all known. Throughout all of us who've watched football, the tight end is the quarterback's best friend. You just signed him to a big deal a couple years ago. And see, this is what people don't understand. All right? You have to realize that when you get that money, Cole's a great guy. Okay? Solid young man, good. All right, went to St. Viator, Notre Dame, obviously. But he feels like he should be earning what he's making. He's like, you signed me for a reason. You gave me this contract extension for a reason. Throw me the ball. I can be a big help. So when DJ gets frustrated, we're like, oh, he's a diva. Do you realize DJ is the highest paid Chicago Bear? So when he doesn't get the ball, he's frustrated. It's like, you guys gave me $1 trillion, and you're not targeting me. You're not forcing the ball to me. I'd be frustrated too. Wait, why'd you give me all that money? I'm not giving it back. But why'd you give me all that money if you're not going to force me the ball? Your contract should dictate the number of targets. Should. It should. You should. If that's your number one receiver, throw the goddamn ball to your number one receiver. Period. End of story. All right, stop going. But see, here's Caleb. He wants to throw to his buddy, Keenan Allen. His buddy he hung out with in L.A. Wants to throw to his rookie buddy from the draft and from pre-draft workouts, Rome Odunze. Herb said they think DJ will spontaneously combust if he runs around deeper than 12 yards. I'm saying, let him run. Junior says, why do they keep throwing Allen is beyond me. Yeah, Keenan Allen he just cannot wait. Why he said that? Yeah, I like to run it back. I'm like, really? You want to run it back? First of all, I don't know if the team wants you, but you want to run it back? This is a cluster mess, and this was a lot of people who. Well, I won't speak for a lot of people. All I questioned was, one of the things I questioned was, now that you gave Thomas Brown the head coaching position, how much is that going to take away from his developing Caleb? We've seen this taken away a lot. Not that they're not that they were confused with the greatest show on turf before he became the head coach. Let's not get it twisted. They weren't confused with Kurt Warner, Oz Hakeem, all right, Ricky Prohl, Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt. They weren't confused with that group, but they're putting up some points, a little bit of points. And now it's just. And the thing about it in the post-game presser, like I like Coach Brown, but he has his demeanor. You have to understand, when you're not winning, you're not doing well, you can't give these Bill Belichick answers. You're good enough. We'd execute. And that's his answer. And you're sitting there like, well, wait a minute. This is week 16, 17. The hell you mean you're not executing? The hell you doing? This ain't week 1 or 2. So in week 16, 17, you're not executing? Well, what the hell are you doing at practice? Maybe you shouldn't have just a walkthrough. Maybe you should practice. Crazy idea. Big Herb said, yeah, that was a mistake. Should elevate a Hightower. I agree. I couldn't agree more. Let him focus only on Caleb. If that's the number one issue, the number one priority, is to make sure that Caleb develops. And you saw development under Thomas Brown. You don't add anything else to his plate, period. I get it. You want to see if he can handle this and still develop Caleb and win the game. We might have found our head coach. Good. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And what the Bears like to do, they like to break something that ain't broken. I'm in the locker room yesterday, and I'm just kind of looking to see who to go interview and stuff. And I see Tremaine Edmonds, big predator-looking mug with his hair, you know. I'm thinking, what exactly do you do? They gave you a lot of money. They give you a lot of money. What, 60, 70,000, 70 mil? I don't. Here you go. I just want to just. No. 4 years, $72 million. 50 guaranteed. What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? He's not atop the leaderboard in tackles. He's not knocking people into tomorrow. I could see if you're getting, because you're knocking people into tomorrow, and you know what? It gives people reason to question whether or not they want to come across the middle. What is this guy doing? Herb asked him yesterday, why don't you call a timeout early on the last drive? The one where Caleb said he got hit in the throat. And about 20 to 30 seconds went off the clock. And Coach Brown, very, very curt, says, I want to save it for later. Okay, you got under a minute to go. How much longer do you want to wait? I mean, are you take it with you on your next job? I'm just asking for a friend. And you're right, Herb. The money that Tremaine got should be TJ Edwards. Because that joker is up. He's last year and this year, I think he finished third. He was top 5 last year in total tackles. Roquan Smith got $100 million, and TJ Edwards has just about as many tackles as Roquan Smith. That was a great signing by Poles. Now, listen, I love to see players get their money. I do. But, man, I got to give Poles credit. He got this one. 3-year, $19 million. 4.5 signing, 7.9 guaranteed. He's getting $6.5 million average. And Tremaine Edmonds got 73. What'd I say? You may want to reevaluate that. My man Junior says, I hope Edmonds is gone next year. I do too. He's not doing anything except collecting a paycheck. Like, I haven't seen you intercept the pass down the middle. I haven't seen you make it difficult for quarterbacks to hit the seam. I don't see you running with running backs or tight ends. I definitely don't see you in the leaderboard with when it comes to tackles. But, man, this is Ryan Poles. So, again, the question, does Ryan Poles make it this offseason? And if he does, how does that affect the coaching search? Yeah, Herb, you're damn right. Sanborn can do exactly what Tremaine is doing and more and better. But how does that affect, and Kevin Warren knows this, how does that affect the coach you're going to bring in? If you keep Ryan Poles, he's going to be on the hot seat because coaches know. Pete Carroll knows what the situation is. He's got people doing homework, doing his homework for him. So now you're going to bring me in with a lame duck GM, and if we don't have the success we had that you want us to have, then he's going to get fired. Now I got to deal with another GM who might not want me and has the ability to fire me. What kind of coach who's worth anything, especially a Super Bowl winning coach, is going to play under those types of conditions? I'll wait. I'll be waiting for a long time because they know no Super Bowl coach, any coach worth his while, going to do that. And we could talk about the Pete Carroll rumors. And actually, it came out yesterday that Pete Carroll put it out to all the teams that have an opening that he's trying to get back in. According to Bleacher Report, it says former Seahawks head coach has informed all teams with openings that he wants to return in 2025. This is according to Bleacher Report. So everyone's talking about we need an offensive mind. We need an offensive mind. We need an offensive mind. How about you guys give me a guy who knows how to run a team? Because don't give me a guy who knows how to run an offense and can't run a team. Because the last I checked, there's 3 phases in football. You know, it's frustrating to see. Like, I wonder, like, how do you get these jobs? How do you get these jobs? So many people are so incompetent. And Ryan Poles is starting to fall into that category for me. And I got to eat crow because I was a big fan of his at first. Big fan of Ryan Poles. But then started doing dumb shit. Not addressing the offensive line. Falling for the hype. You know, I like Pete Carroll. Guess what? Pete Carroll runs shit. Trust me, you have no question. You have no question who's running in the building. None whatsoever. DJ Moore this morning talked about, he was posed the question, do you want a great play caller or a guy who can run a damn football team, a leader? He said, obviously, I like both. He said, but if I had to pick, he says, give me a leader. What is wrong with going to get a Super Bowl winning coach? I'll tell you what's wrong. He's going to tell you your organization ain't shit. That's what he's going to tell you. This is stupid how you're doing it. And the Bears don't want to hear it. The Bears don't want to hear it. The Bears want to control. I told you, these general managers want to be the pretty boys of all organizations. Shawn, I hear you. Who wants a 73-year-old coach? Okay, I see your point. That's a valid point. But if you got a guy who wants the job, who's been successful, why not bring him in, at least? Plank agrees. Plank says he doesn't want a 73-year-old coach. I agree with you guys, but bring him in. Because maybe he might tell you what the hell's wrong with your organization that you don't want to hear, and maybe you fix it. Because ain't nobody around here won a Super Bowl. Well, actually, I take that back. Ryan Poles, but you swear he wasn't been around a Super Bowl winner. Like, come on, man, what are you doing? Black Diamond checking in is like, Shawn, 98% of Bear fans aren't intelligent. Marvin Levy coached into his 90s. I don't know about that. I think he might have been 80, but I get your point. He coached a while. If you got a guy who wants to do it, listen, Pete Carroll's won everywhere he's gone. Pete Carroll's won everywhere he's gone. All right, USC. Best talent. Seattle. Should have had two. Was it Darrell Bevel who called the pass instead of giving it to beast mode? Because otherwise he'd be a two-time Super Bowl winning head coach. And who was I listening to? It was somebody who played for. They said what Pete Carroll would do to Caleb is what he did to Russ. He said he breathed life into Russ. He gave Russ all the confidence in the world. And I'm not saying that Caleb needs confidence. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is when you have a coach that believes in you, when you have a Super Bowl winning coach that believes in you, who you've seen. Caleb was alive when the Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl. And that coach spoke life into his quarterback. And he's here can do the same thing to me. And especially this generation, you gotta build them up. You can't give them tough love because they cry like he's being mean to me. I know I make $10 trillion a year, but he's being mean to me. Stop the nonsense. Grow a pair. And I'll tell you what, Pete Carroll can do it. He knows how to give you tough love, but he also knows how to build you up. Bring him in. Trust me, you don't think he's going to get a great offensive coordinator? You don't think he wants to win when he's won at every level, every single level? He's won. You think he's going to come just to take the money? No. Again, you may not want to hire him, but bring him in. Show us that you give a damn about this fan base. Show us you're willing to look at Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, people who've done it before. Show us. Don't just go and interview the hot new coordinators. The Matt Nagy's. And I'm not saying Ben Johnson's not going to be good. I don't know that. I just know he hasn't led a team yet. And here's the Shane Waldron effect. Does everyone respect Ben Johnson because look who's behind him, Dan Campbell? You know nobody's going to disrespect to go against Dan Campbell or his coaches. Why? Because you got to deal with Dan Campbell. You're going to get cut like that one dude who got cut when he got pulled over for DUI. Cut. Sorry. Football isn't important enough to you not to do dumb shit. You're out. That's what we fell prey to with Shane Waldron. Everyone thought, because Shane Waldron's a good play caller. But he got Pete Carroll behind him. Here he had Matt Eberflus. And believe me, at that particular point, most of what Matt Eberflus said sounded like Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah. I don't really think that those players believed in Matt Eberflus anymore at that particular point. I don't. Brent Coleman, what's up, Papa? Thank you for tuning in. It's one of the first times I've seen you. The first time I've seen you. Thanks for tuning in. Brent says, I don't see Ben commanding a room. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's tough. It's tough to see. But do you want to put your rookie quarterback who's gone through 2 play callers, 3 offensive coordinators in his first year? You want to put that quarterback who needs some good fundamental coaching to a guy making him the head coach who's not going to be solely committed to his development? That's the question you have to ask. That's a lot to go from coordinator to head coach, and now you're not just worried about the offense. You're not just worried about the quarterback, running back, receivers, offensive line. Oh, yeah, by the way, I got to worry about defense too. I got to worry about the use of timeouts, my time management. I got to worry about challenges. There's a lot when you become a head coach. Just ask Thomas Brown. Just ask Thomas Brown how much is on his plate now. How difficult it is when you're the man who's under the spotlight. And it's frustrating. We go in the locker room, and every single time, and Herb can attest, there's more and more people gone by the time we get in there. Because I didn't see him in the locker room, but I didn't see Roma Dunze. And when we walked out to go down to the press room where Coach Brown and Caleb were going to be speaking, I'm walking down in the bowels of the stadium. I'm like, oh shit, there's Rome. I'm like, I didn't see him in the locker room. Where's he at? More and more people, more and more players, they just want to get out of here. They've checked out. And I get it. But a lot of this has to fall on the players. I get the coaching was horrible, but the coaches don't play for you. The coaches don't miss tackles. And the thing about it, we talk about like a Dan Campbell on spot, how he motivates his players and everything. Okay, great. When you're at that level, listen, you need to be able to motivate yourself. Not everybody can, but you need to be. Herb says, oh, yeah, they're getting out of there ASAP. Man, I'm telling you, 2 games ago, it was about half the players were in there. Because we're standing outside waiting, and you see people walking out. Some don't even go out the back door. They don't go out to the far end where they meet their families. There's an entrance. There's a way to get to another locker room. It's like a big room where your family can sit in. And you can go that way. So players are doing that now. But before they're just coming out right in front of us. Poop. Oh, well, I guess we're not interviewing him. I guess we can't interview him. Guess we can't interview him. We walk in, half the players are there. Then a quarter are there changing. The other quarter are in the shower. They're trying to get out. This has been one of the most frustrating seasons because of all the talent we have. And this is what people try to tell you. Many people. Jay Grant checking in. Says they're trying to avoid get off my lawn, Shawn. I'm telling you, bro. Listen, Jay. Because believe me, I'd love to say a thing or two. Like, Rome, why'd you stop on that route? And people, and you make Caleb look bad. That's your boy. Everyone talked about. They were saying, "Oh, I saw on Twitter, like, oh man, Caleb just missed Rome Odunze." No, he didn't. Rome stopped his route. The one thing you have to understand and you have to see is that Caleb has not put his receivers in position. First of all, they ain't throwing the ball downfield, so that's for starters. With that being said, he hasn't thrown his receivers into coverage. He hasn't thrown his receivers in to get their heads knocked off. He hasn't done that. So people got mad at Caleb one time, and I was mad at him too because he saw Rome coming around the linebacker, and he didn't throw the ball up the hash, which would have been him curling right off the linebacker. It would have kept him far safety. He let him roll or let him keep going through the hash, and the far safety too high came down, so he couldn't throw it. And I'm like, the anticipatory throw. If you see him, throw it on that hash and keep him there. But he hasn't thrown his receivers into harm's way. So you got to understand. So I don't understand why this is such an issue. This is week 16 or 17. This is week 17 now. You don't have this shit down? What's just working all off season? What's just working in the games? Hell, you're 17 games in. You don't realize you don't know when you should sit. Or maybe that's where Rome Odunze has to do a better job, or he has to improve. He's got to understand what defense they're in, and when he finds a soft spot, sit there. If there's not a soft spot, continue to run. Maybe that's what he needs to improve. Or not, maybe. That's what he needs to improve. Brett, he got DJ hit pretty good last week. Yeah, I'm telling you. This is my personal opinion. Him and DJ don't get along. That's my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion. I think him and DJ ain't vibing. That's just me. Could be wrong. Probably not. Probably not. I just don't. Because my thing is this. If you have a number one receiver, if you're a rookie quarterback and you have a number one receiver, a proven, veteran, Pro Bowl receiver, why aren't you going to him? Why aren't you going to him? Why aren't you looking at him when you get in trouble every time? Why aren't you setting shit up for him in the end zone? Why aren't you set? You know what I mean? Like you could call, hey, coach. They listen to you. Hey, coach, you know what? Let's run this rub route with DJ, or let's run this this bunch set. DJ on the inside, two guys go out, DJ runs a corner. You can do that. Maybe there's issues because Caleb's still mad that last year DJ said, they ain't better than Justin. They cool. Was it two of them? They cool. You're in the locker room for that as well. Maybe Caleb never forgave him for never gonna forgive him for that. Who knows? And I would think that would be it. Brent, let's see what you're saying, Brent. Brent says, I'm also willing to put money on Jalen Johnson telling Flus polls they were sold on being a quarterback away this season when he went off in the locker room. Don't be surprised if he's gone. No, they ain't gonna get rid of Jalen Johnson. No, they paid him too much money. I mean, you could, but I don't think that's because you'd be weakening your team big time. Yeah, I bet he was, because remember, he was a big Justin Fields guy too. And that was the thing. And here's part of the problem, another thing with polls. When people talk about the talent of Caleb, first of all, I doubt he was generational, which I fair to say he's not generational. It doesn't mean he's not a great quarterback. It doesn't mean he won't be a great quarterback. It doesn't mean that at all. So before you jump at me, it doesn't mean he's not going to be a great quarterback. But you had a quarterback who needed coaching, who couldn't be a great quarterback as well. Brent says Poles there getting his feelings a lot. Yeah, well, I tell you, I've been telling you guys, these general managers they're the pretty boys now. They want to be the most important person in the room, although he never wants to speak. He never wants to get in front of the mics when shit hits the fan, but they still want to be the most important person in the room. And that's not just football, it's baseball, it's basketball. Not even the coaches anymore. The coaches can't be the biggest personality. I have to be the one everyone talks about. Shawn says the Bears do decide to fire Poles. Who will the GM be? I don't know. They'd have to go into a search. Definitely have to go in a search. But this is frustrating. With all you can do when you're going against a team that's okay. And trust me, we have talent. And all you can put up is 3 points. All you can put up is 3 points. I'm wondering if some of the players even go to Green Bay next weekend. You don't even know when it is, Saturday or Sunday. Somebody's, hey, I'm taking a sick day. I don't feel like going. I got some PTO. I'm out. I'm not going. Too cold up in Green Bay. I'm not leaving cold Chicago to go to colder Green Bay. Would surprise me. Oh, coach, I'm getting sick. Oh, I just pulled a muscle in my back. A la Sammy Sosa. Because what do the Bears have to play for? Don't say pride, because that's out the window. They've got nothing to play for. And the Packers might have their seed locked up. So even if they do, guess what? They still got Malik Willis, and they've won with him big time. Still going to beat the hell out of us. So what do you have? What does this team have to play for? And you can only fault Thomas Brown so much, and that's not a lot at all. 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, he's a passing game coordinator. He didn't have shit to do with anything. Then he's the offensive coordinator. Now he's the head coach. 2 months, bam. Talk about a quick rise. How bad was it? And I know you heard it on the television, on the TV. They're yelling, "Sell the team. Sell the team." Because you keep doing dumb shit. You keep doing stuff that's repetitive. We were talking yesterday in the presser. We were waiting for Coach to come out. No, for Caleb to come out, and it was like, we're talking to Mark Potash. And he's like, it's one story. I'm like, oh, it's like Groundhog Day. It's like Groundhog Day. Same shit happens. Just different names. What did Bon Jovi say? Only the names will change. That's it. Same shit. Now, this is the third time in a row you've done it with the quarterback. Third time in a row. But people still want to look at this franchise. The people in the front office still want to think that this organization is reputable. This organization is, I don't know, worthwhile, because they ain't shit to me. Now when you keep doing the same shit over and over and over and over, three number one quarterbacks, first round quarterbacks, you're going to ruin. 3. All with talent. All of them. Because you want to get in the way. You stop McCaskey. You allegedly, according to reports, you stopped Ryan Poles from firing Matty Eberflus this offseason. Well, if he can't fire him, what the hell is his job? Why the hell is Ryan Poles even here? If he can't hire and fire the head coach, that's in the job description of a general manager. But that means he's not in control. What coach? You think Pete Carroll wants to come? I know he wants the Bears, but when he gets here and he sees the type of bullshit that's going on, you think he's going to want to stay here? He's like, hell no. You think that? You think any coach who's reputable is going to want to come when this dysfunction? Well, they're still being run by a quote-unquote fan? Quit the gene pool lottery and then lucked out and had George Halas as his grandfather? King Booker World, you ain't lying, boss. I don't want to hear value, positive, project, or good kid out of Pole's mouth this offseason. I want to hear this is one hell of a football player. This dude is a beast. This dude gets to the quarterback. This dude runs people over. This dude mauls defensive linemen. This dude, Mr. IHOP for all the pancakes. That's what I want to hear. Stop with the Roschon Johnson. Oh, he's a great guy. His character is great. His character's great. His character's great. He sucks. No one fears Roschon Johnson. He's a nice kid. He's a nice young man. He ain't a great football player. He's a tough, hard-nosed running back for those tough yards. Cool. You need those on the team. I hear you, King, Book of World. I hear you, man. Damn. Go get some dogs. And you know what? If Pete Carroll comes here, Pete's going to get some dogs. Pete knows how to handle some dogs. He can relate to players with a little bit of an edge. He can look at his time at USC. Look at his time in Seattle. He can relate to those people that the Bears don't want. Those type of players that Bears don't want. He can relate to them, and he can control, and they respect him. Just like Jimmy Johnson, they respect him. Bring me someone who walks in like a Pete Carroll, who you better listen to every word he says. Why? Because he's a Super Bowl winning, national title winning in college coach. That's why. That's why. So I don't know what's going to happen, except for a blowout, an ass whooping next weekend, Saturday or Sunday, at the hands of the Green Bay Packers. That I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know that. Because trust me, even the players they understand the rivalry from their point of view. And they want to stick it to us every time, and they do. So I don't see how in God's name the Bears come out with a win next weekend. I don't. Do you know how long it's been since I wore this bad boy? You know how long it's been? Almost 3 months, 11 weeks. They lost 10 games, one by. Yeah. Almost 3 months since I wore that bad boy. My Bears victory chain. So now the Bears have tied the longest losing streak of the season back in 21. Yeah. They lost the last 10 games of the 2021 season. That was Justin's rookie year. Then they lost the first 4 of his sophomore year, second year here, before they won a game. But in a single season, right now they've tied for 10, the longest losing streak within a season. They can. Damn, Junior says October 13th was when they last won. That's over 2 months ago. So with a loss Sunday, they will set the season long. Dude, they only played 17 games and you lose 11 in a row? Who out here, who amongst us would have thought that at 4-2 the season would have gone like this? We wouldn't win another Mickey Ficky game. When was the last game we won? That was it, right? The last game? Yes, it was 13th. Jay Grizz says, damn, I thought the Rashawn Salam years were bad. You know why they're bad, Jay Grizz? I'll tell you why they were bad. Because they didn't give me a tryout with the Bears because they drafted Rashawn Salam. Don't get me started. I spoke with them. I wanted to try out. I'm like, dude, I was working in New York. I said, I got my own insurance. I'm still in shape. I run between the tackles. No, we drafted Rashawn Salam. I'm like, you don't run between the tackles. And dude fumbled every other game. Don't get me started on Rashawn Salam. God rest his soul. He's a pothead too. Probably why he fumbled all the time. Don't get me started, Jay Grizz. I got a lot of problems with you people. Junior, I remember you said that. I said, shut up, dude. Shut your ass up. I told you, Junior, shut your ass up. They're gonna win another game all year. You're like, I don't think so. I'm like, bro, shut up. Well, guess you're right. I'm about to lose the bet. I'm about to lose a bet. When was that? They had about 7 games to go. And my cousin said, oh, they're not going to win another game all year. I'm like, bro, shut up. He goes, I'll bet you dinner. I'm like, done. Dinner? They only got to win one more game the rest of the year? Psst, done. Looks like I got to take my cousin out to dinner. Jay Grizz says, facts, you were back. I would have backed you back then had I have known. Yeah. So you know what? It's frustrating. And you got to laugh because otherwise you'll cry because of the passion, the energy that we put into this team. You see that you got a new hat. Junior, that's supposed to be me when you talk nasally. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Junior. But it's frustrating. But you know what? Hope springs eternal. And I hope now that we don't have. See, here's. Ryan Poles, you done messed up, right? You know, right? You know that, right? And here's why. Here's where he screwed up. Instead of trading that number 1 pick, okay, I thought of it as it reminded me of the Herschel Walker deal. Many of us are old enough to remember the Herschel Walker trade, which turned the Dallas Cowboys into a 3-time Super Bowl champion. That's what I was looking at. And I don't think Justin's generational. But hell, Troy Aikman wasn't generational. But he won 3 Super Bowls. You know why? Because they got an offensive line. Eric Williams, Mark Tuinei, Larry Allen, Nate Newton, Stepnowski. 3 or 4 first-round picks in that offensive line. That Emmitt Smith wasn't even touched to the third level. Many times you see he touched the ball. And a hell of a defensive line. Leon Lett, Russell Maryland. Come on, man. Ken Norton. Think of all the people that they drafted with all those picks. Like you build a team. That's why. That's where I said Ryan Poles messed up. Because now you got to go. And luckily we have a little bit of an advantage. We got 3 in the top 40, I want to say. You get 3 players in the top 40, they all better be contributors, and they better be offensive or defensive line. Give me 2 offensive linemen and 1 defensive lineman. Because Billings should come back, and my only question with Billings, because he tore pec muscle, so he's not able to bench, he's not able to push, and that's his whole thing, is holding people off. So we might let's not get too. We're gonna have to expect some downtime or some growing pains or some tough times for Billings when he comes back, because once he's healed, he's got to start training to get back to where he was. But you better give me an offensive line, 2 offensive linemen and 1 defensive lineman. Give me a stud or an edge. We got great edges coming. But give me that 3 tech. Gervon Dexter's not that 3 tech. Gervon Dexter's not the dude, not your project failed. Your project with Gervon Dexter failed. He's a nice kid. We've interviewed him. Nice kid. Not a dog. Montez Sweat, where are you? I think he got a sack yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, oh, there's a Montez Sweat signing. Lovely. Crazy. Nice of you to show up, Mr. Sweat. Earn your paycheck a little bit. What, $98 million? Nice of you to show up, sir. Let's see. Did he get a sack yesterday? I don't know. I know he got one, but I thought it might have got taken away from. No, he got a sack. Montez Sweat got a sack. Okay. Good. Was that 5 this year now? Wonderful. Anyway. Jay Grizz. I thought the Rams were done and they changed the course of their franchise these past 2 draft classes. I'm telling you, it could have been. So we're done with after this, we're done with the draft. The 2nd round pick. Carolina's 2nd round pick. We're done with all those picks and all with that trade. And this is why, again, this is another reason I said with the Hall, look at it. This is where he screwed up. Just think we'd have more picks next season. We'd have more picks in the 2025 draft. We'd have more picks in the 2026 draft and probably the 2027 draft. So when you're getting high picks or multiple picks, you could combine those and get to jump and get a player you really want. And it doesn't stop the fact that you're winning now. It doesn't stop that fact. But apparently to Ryan Poles, it did. I don't know. Listen, folks, I got to run. I hope you have a phenomenal weekend. I got to go with the Warden from CrossFit. I hope you have a phenomenal weekend. Enjoy the weekend. We don't have any more Bears stuff. We get the whole weekend off after that debacle last night. I didn't get home till 1:30 this morning from doing my thing on it. So make sure you go check Facebook. Make sure you follow me on Facebook. All right, follow me on Facebook. You'll see the little piece the recap I did from the field. I'm probably going to upload some of the stuff from the interviews in the locker room. But guys, enjoy your weekend. New Year's is coming next week. All right, it's kind of a weird time between Christmas and New Year. All right, you don't really know what day it is. But here's what I'll ask you to do. Do yourself a favor. Make sure you reach out to your people, your loved ones, people you haven't talked to or haven't seen in a while. I'm going to have lunch with a friend of mine. I haven't seen them in a minute. It's been about 1.5 years. Far too long. yesterday at the Bears game. I ran into one of my former coaching colleagues, Coach Bobby Stewart. He was there with his son. And he was like, man, don't be a stranger, man. Me and Bobby, we coached at Bogan together. It was great. It's been a couple years since I saw him. All right. So I'm like, man, I got to do better. I'm trying. I ran into one of the guys, Charles, who was in the thread earlier. Charles, where's he at? Charles McDavid. He hit me up on Messenger. He was like, hey, I'm working at Soldier Field as part of the cleanup crew. Because I'd love to meet you and take a picture with you. I'm like, you know what? No problem. Charles McDavid. So I was able to meet up with him yesterday because I was there so late. So do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. Make sure you reach out to your people, man. Please do. You know, you may not have another chance to do it. All right. I don't mean to bring you down, but you and I both know that time and tide wait for no man. When it's our time to go, it's our time. And you could have been like, damn, I meant to call him. It happens a lot. All right. Holidays are for reconnecting with family and friends. Do it. All right. Especially since our Bears suck and they got one more game. Why don't you guys meet over the Packer game and say, hey, let's go talk about how bad they suck. Just do it. But just let your loved ones know you love them. All right. Because tomorrow, as I always say, tomorrow is promised to no one. All right. All right, folks. From everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. Okay. I will see you on Monday. All right. And make sure you catch up with some football, some basketball. You can start. It's after Christmas. Basketball officially starts for me. I don't pay attention to the NBA until after Christmas. So, guys, you have a wonderful, wonderful day, wonderful weekend. See you on Monday. From everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Your boy is out.